Yo, what's going on, guys?
Yo, yo, yo.
It's Alex Lee, a.k.a. Fresh Prince of Vietnam.
And you already know Mr. Taylor Junkin here.
Yo, bro. Today we're back at it, okay? We said we're going to record a podcast. Here we are. And by the way, if you guys don't know of the terrific Panawat from Rice and Spice, he's also an artist and a skateboarder. And these are the paintings that he drew for us.
Yep. Shout out Panawat. That's our guy.
But we're back at it again, and we got a special guest. Go ahead and pop your head up, my boy.
I can come up from the table
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got my guy, Landon.
Oh, I know you didn't just hit me with the Landon.
Landon.
We talked about this before we came
We already
in,
talked about it. And I already
We're
messed
in
up.
America.
Yeah. All right, guys. We were back at it last time. The last episode, it was me and Taylor. We were doing a little intro video for you guys to get to know a little bit about us. But today, we posted our little teaser video for our podcast on our social media. And the first person that hit us up and our first guest, we got our guy, Landon.
What's going on? Thanks for having me, guys.
Mr. Landon Dodson, probably one of the smartest guys I've ever met. And I'm so excited to introduce you guys to him because he's about to drop some knowledge. He was already doing it before we got on the mics here. And you're about to see what we're working with here. So.
Yeah.
Dude, I love that sweet, sultry voice you got going on. I can't even get my voice.
It's for the ladies.
I try.
It's because dude got a beard, bro. That's what it is.
Am I talking in the right side of this?
Oh, shoot. I may not be talking in the right side. Hold up.
I feel like it's right here.
Yeah, I'm talking on the right side.
That's where it is.
Okay, yeah, no, I've never seen...
It's all good. Hey, we're not... Hey, I don't...
That's a really bad take coming from a guy that works in production. Like, I'm like, I don't know what these mics are.
It's all good. Hey,
There we go. I fixed it.
Hey, we're not perfect. We don't claim to be perfect, and we're working towards perfection every day.
That's right.
That's
Every
it.
single day.
Every single day. And some days we may stand still to take a breather, but it's okay. We're gonna keep it moving at the end of the day.
I like that. That's a good mantra.
Yeah, bro. But so, bro, tell a little bit about yourself to the people right here, to the wonderful people that are watching. That it's like, who is this white guy? You know what I mean? Like, tell us.
Yeah, so my name's Landon Dodson. I work at Vault Entertainment. We're a production house based here in Oxford, Mississippi.
Okay.
So my role in the company is Vice President of Business and Innovation. That's a lot of words to say. I wear every hat that is humanly possible.
Y'all gonna see why.
Nah, it's like... Basically, my main role is working on the business development side. Mm-hmm. So making sure that we are being as efficient as possible, utilizing the right tools, utilizing the right people. My coworker, my counterpart, Isaac Harrelson, he's our operations guy. Like, dude just absolutely knows what he's talking about when it comes to making sure everybody's in the right place at the right time.
Right.
That is not my skill.
Mm-hmm.
Where I really feel like I excel and what I really enjoy doing is developing tools, developing systems, and developing people.
Basically, he's saying he's Jimmy Neutron.
Is that a reference to the hair? Or
No, that's a reference because your brain, bro. So you guys still don't know anything about him, okay? But, you know, this is actually my first time meeting Landon in person, okay? And I thought he was a certain someone, but he turns out to be way above than I even thought. And way different than I even thought. Dude's 22, bro. You know, I thought dude was 29, 26, older than us, or at least the same age. But you're younger. And what I know about Landon is that this guy's an integrator with systems. He's savvy with a bunch of technology tools. Like, bro, I'm gonna be honest, these cameras that y'all are watching on, I don't know nothing about them. We be buying them. Taylor does all the peeking through it, making sure it's all good, how to use it effectively to its best standards and best use. I'm just like, oh, yeah, you know? So
Yeah, he just owns the cameras. I operate them.
if my boss Mike ever watches this, he's gonna be okay with me saying this. That's him now.
Yeah.
He was the guy that started the company. He he just doesn't go to shows anymore. We filled the shoes.
hey,
Dude, it's great though. I mean, just, you know, life is about learning, right?
Right.
And that's where we're at. I think all of us, and especially right now, kind of in the lifespan of the company I'm working for at the moment, is just we got to be constantly learning. It's learning
Right.
new systems, learning new things, and making things better every single day.
right.
I remember specifically a couple weeks back, I went to go see Tyler Childers live. Went and saw him up in Johnson City, Tennessee. My sister goes to school, East Tennessee State University.
Okay.
And they had this massive banner video wall, 50, 60 feet hung above their heads. And the entire time they're doing IMAG, which for those of you who don't know what IMAG is, it's live image magnification.
Right.
So they're taking all the cameras on stage, PTZ, the live cameras roaming around the audience, and getting them up onto the live stream for the people in the cheap seats like me to be able to see what's going on. And I see this effect that they do. They've got a moving vector background going on, and then they've got 3 camera windows.
Yeah.
And those camera windows are being dynamically changed all the time. I'm like, well, this is what I'm going to obsess over for the next 3 weeks. So then I'm on Reddit on video engineering pages. I'm asking guys who've been doing this way longer than I have, hey, how do I get anything remotely similar to this effect? And the guy, the production world is the most unhelpful industry you could ever be in. It is just a bunch of old heads that go, well, if you just worked long enough and you spent long enough as a stagehand, you'd figure it out. I'm like, no, homie. Y'all are all dying and none of y'all are teaching us anything.
Right.
So somebody says the word super source and I'm like, that's all I need. And then I spend the next week and a half up till 1 a.m. just researching how I'm going to do it. And I had the eureka moment at 2 o'clock on the afternoon on a Tuesday. We've got this big whiteboard wall in our office.
Okay.
We did the whiteboard painting thing. And I run over to it and I draw what looks like an absolute red web, connecting the dots. This is the man that did it.
Yeah.
And my boss looks at me, Michael, and he goes, Landon, what is that? And I was like, I figured out how to do it. I couldn't even get the words out, but I was just so excited to have learned a new thing.
So there you go. You guys already see it. He's a obsessive guy over his work, over his craft, and that's great. I want to be around more people like that. We want to be around more people like that, right? And another perspective, guys. His company that he works with, they basically start. They basically bring together, the stage for artists, like frat parties or, any production behind the scenes that you don't see, the boring stuff, getting the stage, getting the video equipment, getting the sounds right, even getting the, what is that thing, the smoke thing?
Oh, yeah. So we're one of the only companies in the area that does pressurized systems. So we do CO2 cannons.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. I saw the video that you showed me earlier, but I saw it on social media as well, where it goes you said 70 feet tall.
I'll send you that clip so you can cut it in here.
Yeah, dude, amazing.
Yeah, so those are new ones. I can't fully speak on where they're going yet, but you'll hopefully see them on TV. And yeah, they're a really interesting effect. We've got some in our inventory already that did 12-foot plumes of smoke, and these are rated to do 70-foot plumes of white CO2 just straight up into the air.
Right.
Super cool stuff. That's just some of the stuff that I get really excited about, just because we're growing and we get some really cool calls and we get to buy some really cool toys.
Yeah.
Hey man, I love what you guys are doing. You guys are basically a full service company. You know what I mean?
That's the idea. I mean, technically speaking, I don't know if y'all want to speak to this or not, but technically speaking, we are competitors in a little bit of a way.
Hey, there's money for everybody, man.
There's money for everybody. There's more work than any of us could ever touch.
Yeah.
And it's all love, but man,
yeah, exactly.
we try and touch everything that our clients have any interest in, and y'all do the same thing. Y'all got more companies and businesses and stuff going than I could ever even fathom.
Bro, exactly what you said. All this work right here, it's all love at the end of the day, and hey, we all trying to eat. You know what I mean? And you do what you got to do to eat.
That's right.
But so let's get to know you a little bit more, Landon. So I thought you were from Mississippi. You're not from Mississippi?
No, I'm not from Mississippi. I originally grew up in McDonough, Georgia, so a little suburb 30, 45 minutes south of Atlanta. Grew up there, graduated high school in 2019, and then came out here. I had a little bit of a scholarship to go to school here, and then I just started taking the long road towards a bachelor's degree. I still say that I'm working towards that. It's just taking some time.
You want that paper? You want that
I do.
paper?
I think I would someday.
Yeah.
I think I would someday. But right now I'm getting lots of little certifications for different things. Right now I'm working on QSys, which is an integration platform that I'm not going to bore y'all with. But it's always about getting little sheets of paper.
Yeah.
I think that's just life, is getting little sheets of paper, whether they're green or white.
Yeah, bro. I mean, whatever to add to your list of accomplishments before you leave this world. Hey, you do what makes you happy. However you feel accomplished and successful, you do what makes you happy at the end of the day. We all have our own meaning of success.
Yeah.
And we all have our own path.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's important to do what you love. I mean, that's why I'm in the production world, which generally speaking is definitely not the most lucrative industry in the world. We're trying to make it that way, but like, it's just what I love. I'm a kid getting to play with toys every day of the week.
Yeah.
There's nothing that can really beat that. I don't think.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, bro. You left Georgia to come to Oxford because you had a full tuition, scholarship.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty competent when it comes to taking standardized tests, but I'm a really, really bad student at large.
Hey, bro, there's so much going on in the world. There's so many things, especially when you're young. There's so many things you're desiring, you're wanting to do, and you're lost because you have so many options. You don't know what to do.
Oh, yeah, no, that's a really noble explanation. I just didn't like doing homework. That's what it came down to.
Shit. Yeah, fuck that. Fuck homework.
It's the worst.
Yeah. But, nah, bro, so you ended up going to school, then you dropped out?
I do use the word dropped out sometimes, but if my mom were to watch this, Mom, I definitely dropped out is not the word. I do say that I'm still taking the long road. Okay. I think I'm a lifelong learner, and I do want that piece of paper someday.
Okay.
So I still am in a few classes, not many, but it's just enough to keep me moving. At this point. It's not 15 hours, 16 hours.
Mom, he dropped out. He dropped out, Mom.
No, she has Instagram. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. No,
the truth comes out.
No, I am taking a few classes at a time, just enough to where I can still consistently work.
Right. Just managing your time wisely.
Yeah, and then I'm starting to play around with this idea. For any of y'all who are looking to get that piece of paper, Ole Miss has got a really great program called the University Studies Program. So it's with Dr. Joel Amater. He's got a really, really incredible thing going for people like me who are working full-time and still want to get that piece of paper, get that degree. Really, really exciting stuff happening at the University of Mississippi. I mean, have y'all drove through campus or looked around there recently?
Here and there.
Dude, what are you saying?
Everything is under construction right now.
Yeah.
I can tell, yeah.
The Ford Center is getting worked on.
I saw the softball stadium.
Ford Center. They leveled that.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, no, like they literally cleared out everything. The Manning Center just got built. If y'all are sports heads, check out.
How much did they pour in there?
I want to say it was like 25 million, 40 million or something. Like something ridiculous.
No, I think it was like 54 million.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Dude, yeah.
Maybe even more.
Yeah, we've worked with Ole Miss Athletics for a long time, and University Athletics have a different kind of check, bro. Like their pocketbook is way different.
Yeah.
Bro, listen. The great thing with having Quantity Media was that we got to make so many different and great connections. You know what I mean? And also we got to get in touch with like these Ole Miss athletes, which was great getting into these doors and whatnot. So hopefully we'll have some of those athletes, some of those alumni and whatnot hop on this podcast. So I definitely look forward to that as well. But Landon, so meeting you, bro, I'm seeing that you're kind of like a all-around player. Wherever the team needs you to be, you're gonna do that, and you're gonna be great at it. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what Vault has called all of us to do. I speak of Vault as its own kind of living, breathing entity because I think that's kind of what a company is, right? And man, everybody's just a jack of all trades, and a lot of them are masters of a lot of those trades too.
Yeah.
I mean, Isaac, so my counterpart, he's definitely like our lead sales guy too. He's also like the best audio engineer I've ever heard. Like he could stand up like with national acts and mix just incredible shows. Like it just sounds insane. And his understanding on those systems, we just invested in a new company called DB Technologies. They're out of Bologna, Italy. They make some really, really incredible speaker boxes, loudspeakers. And like just his understanding and know it all of like how to make this system work for us. Like we were just standing in a demo. He's like, this is going to work. I was like, how do you know that? How could you possibly know that's going to work? And he's like, well, it's this, this, and this. And I can, tune the PA like this. I'm like, dude, I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm a video guy and I really like software. Like it's not even a science for him. It's an art. That's the crazy thing. And everything we're doing is art, right? But he's very artful with it.
That's all.
Hey,
Which is really cool.
Yeah.
What that tells me is just that
Passion.
yeah. All
That's
the,
what it comes down to. I mean, that's passion. I know what that feels like, man. Like, especially whenever I first got into doing video work, it's like you get really passionate about something and then you just want to learn and learn and learn and learn. And then once you've learned all that stuff, you're just like, oh, yeah, this is how you make this happen. This is how you make that happen. And it becomes a science and an art.
It's a compulsion.
So it is.
You know, it really is. So my primary system that I work on in the live event side is video work.
Mm-hmm.
So I not necessarily being a videographer, recording video for content, live production broadcasts, right? So things like that IMAG I was talking about. Then you've also got, your live streaming. You've got just making sure that you get the PowerPoints on screen the right way. So you're doing, that's called video engineering. And that's my main system. And then, of course, I'm working with projectors. I'm working with TVs. I'm working with LED video walls. That's the most exciting thing. Using different media servers to really create an emotional, impactful experience for some of the concerts that we're doing. We're doing lots of EDM, lots of rap these days. And just working all around and making video something that really sticks out to people is really exciting to me. And that's that system that I've really invested into.
Yeah.
By the way, I shout out to Mirid. I connected with him on social media.
Oh, Marid?
Marid?
Yeah. Refresh Music Group, man.
Right. So you guys work together, right?
Yeah, so we work with tons of talent buyers. So Marid is one that we've known for a very long time. We've got an incredible relationship. I can't speak highly enough of Marid. Just the people that he can pull in, man, really impresses me. On the flip side, though, we've got a workflow integrated, we've got systems integrated, and we've just got a really, really good skill share going with a company called Eclectic Artists out of Atlanta, Georgia. And man, just the quality of work they're doing right now is kind of a match.
Right.
They're advancing. They're putting shows together is just super, 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 super high level. And we love tying our names to those people who are just working at a really high level.
Right.
We're not in any way in any kind of legal partnership. We're just two companies that are doing really good work together and wanted to keep working together.
Right. Just getting all the puzzles to get together.
Yeah. And that's what we do with any talent buyer that calls. If you gonna try it.
Yeah.
He said that was a light cigar, so hopefully.
Yeah, that one. That's actually a really good one.
By the way, guys.
La Roma de Cuba.
You think that shit gonna hit?
No, that's a heat. That's a heat thing. The only thing I'm worried about is if it gets in the vents and they've got smoke detectors up in there. Maybe take your one hit and then
That's some fucking savages, bruh.
We don't give a fuck.
We'll see what happens, bro.
We'll
Go
see what
ahead, bro.
If the equipment gets wet, then it gets wet,
Yeah, it's only.
We're gonna be leaving here in about a month.
Hopefully not sooner.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hold off though because I haven't eaten dinner yet.
Yeah.
And if I haven't smoked in a little while actually. I've been in the middle of moves.
Yeah.
And I will fall on my face.
Really?
I'm a small guy. I'm 5'9". And,
How much you weigh?
Not enough.
So, by the way, bro, you think Hasbulla is coming to Oxford?
Oh, dude. Okay, see, I was waiting for y'all to ask me about that.
By the way, I just want to say this before we say that. Mississippi has a bad rep. Okay?
Yeah.
But I've met a bunch of people all across the nation here.
Yeah.
And I've been trying to convince them to come visit me in Mississippi and check out the office and just hang out. And I want to take them to a football game. And, bruh, they pouring so much money in here.
Oh, yeah.
Bro, it's not even no bubble. It's gonna keep on just boom, boom. The stock is just gonna.
Yeah, well, I mean, you've just got so much undeniable swagger that's happening, right? So you've got Kiffin, who has just kind of been football's bad boy for the longest, right?
Yeah,
and then it's Coach Beard. There's some massive levels of excitement surrounding Coach Beard. And what
the basketball coach
program's going to do. Yeah. I mean, you just have so much excitement happening, and then from a marketing perspective, right? Hasbulla being Arabic, I don't know exactly where he's from. I know he is an Arabic speaker.
He's Arabic, yeah.
Ole Miss makes a lot of sense for him to jump in and kind of be involved with a like American University because of the flagship Arabic program and how deeply involved like Ole Miss is with teaching students Arabic. I don't know if his PR guys are looking into stuff like that, but if they are, it'd be a really good move for him.
Right. Bro, so have you guys done anything with like Ole Miss football? Like, let's speak on a little bit about their marketing team, their video team, their production team. Jesus,
incredible!
They're going crazy.
Incredible. Yeah. So we haven't touched it on the media side, but
are they using their students?
Yeah, mostly students. I mean, of course they've got full time guys. You know, they've got videographers who are incredible.
Yeah.
I wonder how much money they're pouring into their people.
Man, like I don't know. I really don't.
Yeah.
Because I only work with like Ole Miss Live Productions, and I know they invest in their people really well. And of course their inventory, their capital is incredible too. Like their lens locker. Oh my god.
Yeah, I bet their capital is incredible.
During football season, their media team is going absolutely crazy.
And you've seen it. You know, they've got more box lenses than anybody could count, and those lenses are $100,000 a pop.
Yeah.
Damn.
Some of them.
That's crazy, bro.
But I think like the smallest one they've got, if I had to guess, is like a $30,000 lens.
So, bro, whenever Ole Miss football season is around the corner, and you know that's basically like everything to Oxford, Mississippi in general. Like, do you attend those football games or?
It's really rare that I do. This year I am. My dad's coming into town, which I'm really excited about. We're gonna watch the Georgia Tech game, just because we've always kind of been adjacent to Georgia Tech. So really excited about that. But generally speaking, just because of the line of work that I'm in, I am working on the weekends. You know, especially with our main market being the fraternity scene. You know, it's Saturday after the football game. They're having a rager, and they're having Fetty Wap. They're having Quavo. They're having whoever.
Rest in peace, Takeoff. They had Takeoff.
Did Takeoff.
Is it true that was his last concert here?
That was his last event.
Wow.
Yeah. So we did that. We did that event here on campus. Just a really tragic situation all around, man.
Yeah.
And I actually was not at that show, regrettably. But they said he did an incredible job on our stage, and get the call like 2 weeks later that he had passed, and come to find out that was his last live show.
Damn. Shit.
In Oxford, Mississippi, of all places.
And by the way, I just want to say once again, even on camera too, I appreciate you for being patient. We're setting all this up while Landon was just waiting. Not only did he wait, but he was spinning gems and helping us out with the sound. Dude don't even work with us, bro.
He's a camera guy. He was helping me figure out how to change the camera settings.
It just stopped.
There it was. Yeah, your timer was like spot on.
Right.
Yeah. By the way, is this getting in your face or anything at all, bro?
I'm a member at Spring Street, right? Like, you're never gonna bother me with cigar smoke.
Bro, I'm really happy to have met you. Like, I just have so much respect for you.
Appreciate it, man.
Just getting
Dude, y'all too. I love the grind, bro. I love it.
Bro, bro, Taylor was God sent. No, I'm serious.
Yeah.
I'm serious. Like, he was sent from God, like, for us to connect and meet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I believe everything happens for a reason, and you're here right now.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, I won't talk on that for too long, but as a matter of fact, I was actually a worship pastor for 2 years. So, yeah.
Wait, I thought that was still recording. Oh, you're just re-recording it?
Yeah, that way you can get the cuts. And
yeah.
Yeah, I was a worship pastor for 2 years, and so I've got a very deep love for Jesus, and like what he's done in my life has been pretty immeasurable. And,
right.
Yeah.
Bro, this guy. You said you're a worship pastor?
Not anymore.
You were, but you were.
I was.
At what age?
Man. So I finished up last March. Wow. So from the time I was, I guess 19, 20 till I was 21, 22.
Again, this guy's only 22 years old. So all the stuff he's talking about right now, think about that. That's crazy.
No, dude, like, I've always been, like, proud of myself to a certain extent.
Mm-hmm.
Not, like, egotistical vein about it, but, like,
what you're capable of.
I know what I'm capable of, and I felt good about my accomplishments.
Right.
I met this kid. I was at the demo for DB Technologies. Just mind-blowing. This kid owns, like, 4 companies.
Gosh.
His name's David. I actually don't know his last name because we just started talking and jabbering, and I never even got a last name from him. He owns AVIT Systems out in North Carolina. So if y'all are out that way, definitely look into it. He does incredible work. He's working with like the Carolina Panthers, setting up massive stages. He's 20 years old. 20 years old. He's got more networking certifications than I could ever dream of. He knows how to program in every integration system I've ever seen. Crestron, QSys. He's done work with Control4. I'm like, how did you ever have the time for that, my friend? Like, how?
Because when they're in the womb, they're already...
Yeah, he's already on the keyboard, bro.
Yeah.
But, no, dude, just the things young people are doing, especially in our industry right now, is crazy because we've just had to.
Mm-hmm.
I was telling y'all a little bit earlier, our industry has just been... It's been old heads for like a long time.
Yeah. Bro,
50, 60, when you think audio engineer, right, you think of the guy that's kind of got like a beer belly, got the rat tail.
Mm-hmm.
It's had to change so quickly though because those guys are aging out of this industry. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of hard work.
Do you think that intelligence is genetic?
Yeah, to an extent. I mean, like I could talk about Turner Arnold, our warehouse manager, all day. Turner is probably one of the smartest individuals I've ever met. Probably the smartest individual I've ever met. He's 26, 27, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Dude is a master diving instructor. He can train every level of scuba diver. He spent time as like a cowboy or something. Like I can't repeat his whole life story because I just don't remember it all. There's so much to it.
Yeah.
One of the greatest vocalists I've ever heard. Has just got this really deep, raspy voice. Has wrote music, writes music, produces music. He picked up all of our systems in like 3 weeks.
Wow.
Like just like understood everything like that.
And that's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot. A lot. And now he's so adept that he is our head of training. Mm-hmm. So any of our new guys coming in, because like I said, we're having to teach people. People are having to learn young.
Yeah.
So with y'all's with Vault, how many people are within y'all staff and operation?
Yeah, so full-time staff, we've got myself, Michael, Isaac, Matt, Turner, and Max. So we've got 6 guys full-time.
Okay.
And then we've got another 20 or so not contracted, W-2. We've got another 20 employees part-time who are just ripping and roaring, our day in, day out, making sure shows are happening.
Bro, whenever I see videos of you guys having to bring those big crates and like heavy things and putting it together for like the whole show stage and everything, I'm like, yeah, anybody who wants that service, go to Vault Entertainment because I ain't doing this shit.
Yeah.
It's mostly got wheels. Like I promise, it's
yeah.
not that bad. Most of it's got wheels.
It just
Except for
like
the stages. Like staging, dude. Panel stages are the bane of my existence. And I won't talk shop for much longer.
Yeah. So how long does that process usually take? Whenever you guys are setting up the stage and the stadium and the lights and then the speakers.
That's a really good question.
What's the average,
So that's a really good question. If you would have asked me that question a year ago, the answer would have been
Eternity.
5 to 6 hours.
Okay.
Now, like our average show, we can set up in 2 to 3.
2 to 3. Damn. And how what was the change?
Just thinking about our systems more. Mm-hmm. So like I said, that's my love, is thinking about our systems more. We went from, mixer in its own case, lighting in its own case. Each rack-mounted piece of equipment was in a 1U case that you had to stack on top of each other and run all the cables behind it.
Yeah.
To now we like I think the biggest pivotal change I can think of is when we sat down and we really systematized what we're doing, because we realized there's some patterns that emerge. We do every show we do is custom, like every show. We build a quote from scratch. We build a render from scratch. It's going to look totally different than anything you've seen in your area. But we did realize there's some patterns. Every show needs a mixer. Every show needs a lighting DMX splitter. Every show needs a video processor. Every show needs amplifiers. And realize, well, if we just build an 18U rack, mount the mixer on top of it, you can have everything in one box and it never has to get taken apart.
So basically, y'all went back to the drawing board and y'all figured out y'all's process to be consistent every single time.
Yeah, we we go back to the drawing board every single day.
Right.
Every single day. And that's why like that whiteboard exists, because we literally go back to the drawing board every single day.
Right. To follow the same process.
Yeah, to follow the process and then keep refining it.
Right.
So like when I came in, the company had been just absolutely ravaged by COVID.
How long you been in the company for?
2 years now.
2 years. Okay.
2 years now. Some time spent as a contractor. I was 1099. Then I jumped into full time, just kind of as a floater. They just needed an extra hand that was there all the time. And then started kind of making my way in as the guy that really loved our systems and really wanted to make everything more efficient.
So how'd you prove to them, like, what you're capable of and why you should handle that department side of things?
I think I just pestered Mike enough. No, really, I just pestered Mike enough, and I started noticing pressure points. Right, like when you're into something new, or even just when you're deep into something that you've done for a while, you have to be always acutely aware of what your pressure points are in your company. For us, I knew it was our equipment. We had a pretty good amount of equipment at the time, but we didn't know where it was going. We didn't know what we were going to do, and we didn't know how it was going to affect what was happening elsewhere. And I remember this kind of all came to a culmination, really on my first big show weekend. And that show weekend was a nightmare. And like anybody in the company will tell you, we had 2 shows in Mississippi State. Pretty good sized shows, but nothing just like mind boggling compared to what we've done lately.
Yeah.
We left Oxford on Saturday at 7 a.m. and we got back to Oxford on Sunday at 7 a.m.
Wait, what? Well, say that again?
We left Oxford Saturday at 7 a.m. We came back to Oxford Sunday at 7 a.m.
24 hours.
24 hours.
Yeah.
We knew we had to fix some stuff in that moment.
Because it was chaotic, huh?
It was chaotic.
Yeah.
We realized the only person that knew how to program all of our lights was Mike. The only person that could get around on a PA was Mike and Isaac. I didn't know anything about video wall. I didn't know. I knew how to make audio sound okay. I'd done some stuff with my church, but we realized we've got to teach our people how to do stuff. We've got to have just constant sharing of information happening all the time. Right. And we've got to understand what's happening with our equipment. That was the kicker for that weekend. Is we didn't know what was going where. We didn't know how it was going to look. We didn't know, who needed to operate that equipment. We just winged it. And Mike was doing an incredible job for what he could do. But all of the equipment that we owned and everything that we were going to need to make a show was living up here. So I'm like, okay, we got to stop this. So I integrated us with a system called Current RMS. It's current rental management system. And inventoried every single piece of equipment we owned in the warehouse, which was a lot. Right. A lot.
Y'all leveraged that.
We leveraged that. We leverage tools.
Right.
And that's what I do.
Right.
Is I leverage tools.
Right.
And after doing that, I think if I remember correctly, after we integrated that software, without purchasing any equipment, we gained some more people, obviously, but not full-time staff. We saw a 50% increase in efficiency and show usage. Yeah. So we were, just by knowing what we had and knowing what we needed to do with it and knowing where it was going, we saw a 50% increase in shows.
Yeah. And at the same time too, shows, efficiency, none of that is possible without having a team. You know what I mean? Could you imagine you doing that all by yourself, or even let's just say you and Taylor, or you need a team?
Physically, we could. You can't lift up a stage. Well, actually, one of our contractors can.
Of course, his ass.
But dude's 6'5" and just ripped. Yeah. But none of that stuff could be done alone. Right. Physically, cannot be done alone.
Right. Yeah, bro. I mean, at the end of the day, we as humans, or a team getting together to build something. Like I say, people are always worried about the small shit, the nitty gritty shit. They don't think of the bigger picture. We all need to come together to accomplish something, and we'll break bread. But for my question for you is, that's not your company, right?
Right.
So where's this passion and this drive coming from to put forth all your energy and effort?
Oh man, that's a great question. If you ask my counselor, my therapist, he's going to tell you that it's a fear of letting people down. But I just have done so many odd jobs. I've done so many different things in my life. And I found something that I'm like, dude, I love this. I absolutely love this. And I don't want to do anything but this. That's the passion.
Right.
You know, that's all you need is finding that thing that like you love.
Yeah.
And when you find that, man, it's hard to stop.
Right. And
you know?
Bro, and that's great right there, because before I came here, I was at Home Depot getting ceiling panels, and we had to get like 15 of them, and each pack is 8 of them. So we have to get 15 of them.
Yeah.
And it was just 3 of us. And I was asking the Home Depot workers, I was like, hey, y'all think y'all could get some guys to come help us? He was like, dang, y'all look strong. Nah, motherfucker, get your ass right here and put in this effort and help me so we can move on to our next shit. You know what I mean? Like, I got too much.
How heavy was like one?
I mean, one person could pick it up, but it's just like he was on the seat. His ass ain't doing it. He just driving that thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it just gets tall. Like,
right.
You physically can't carry it.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah.
but more of the story is, what I'm just trying to say is, you know, guys like you, that's why y'all go far. You know what I mean? Like, there's people who are just half-assing life all the way.
Yeah.
And when you do those things, like, you're not gonna get far.
Yeah. No, I mean, I like to think that the world's based on merit, but I know it's not. It's based on who you are a little bit.
What's merit?
Merit.
What's merit?
What do you mean?
Huh?
You mean, like, are you asking like a
definition wise?
Yeah, definition wise. I mean, it's
English not my first language, bro. Come on, man.
you know, the system that it's based on what you can accomplish, but it's not. It's based on what you can accomplish, but how you can do it.
Right.
Because I've known plenty of guys that can accomplish more than you'd ever dream of. But they can create a toxic workspace.
Right.
They can just
Their
make your
ego.
day miserable. They can
Ego,
make you
bro.
dread walking
Right.
into the office. And it may be ego, it may be attitude, it may be whatever.
Discipline, whatever. Yeah.
But if you're doing good work and you're showing people how much you love doing that good work,
right.
that's going to carry you far.
Right.
That's what's going to carry you.
Right. So I want to jump back to Oxford, because I'm from Grenada, Mississippi, which is an hour south of Oxford, and I was raised in Oxford. You know what I mean? So you bought a house here.
I did not. Actually, it's technically my girlfriend's name. I'm helping pay.
Gotcha.
For
Well, regardless, is y'all gonna get married, bro. It's gonna be y'all's house.
Yes.
What I'm just trying to get to is that, you know, I'm just curious to what y'all think about Oxford. Like, would y'all stay here forever? But I would, you know.
I think I would. I would want to live in the outskirts of Oxford, so like that kind of Highway 7-ish area.
Country ass, dude.
That's where we're at, bro.
Perfect. This guy knows. That's where I want to be, because I want to have a farm. You know, I want to raise cattle and.
I need to bring y'all out to our office,
bro.
It's on. So,
I've been wanting to for the longest.
Come on, bro. So Vault Entertainment actually exists on Vault Farms.
What?
So Michael owns a 31-acre farm.
I did not know this.
Yeah. So Michael owns a 31-acre farm. They board horses there. So they've got, you know, people who have horses and love to ride, but, you know, don't have anywhere to keep them because they've got a normal house. So they've got all of those, but they also lease land to the Oxford Mounted Patrol. So the Oxford Mounted Patrol is out there with all of their horses.
They lease it?
Yeah.
Wow. Mounted Patrol?
Yeah. So when you're on the square, you know, the horse cops.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All of those guys are out there working on all of their horses.
That's cool.
And
then, of course, we took what was an indoor riding arena and turned it into a 6,000 square foot warehouse that Vault Entertainment lives in.
The name Vault. I want to ask you about the name Vault, but it seems like the name Vault just supplies everything for Oxford right now. It kind of seems
We try
like,
to.
Yeah.
We try to. So the name Vault, y'all are friends with Sam Kendricks, right? Y'all could ask him about this. Michael and Stephen Greer were D1 pole vaulters at the University of Mississippi. Stephen Greer was such a great pole vaulter that Sam Kendricks had newspaper clippings about Stephen Greer on his wall.
Right.
Yeah.
By the way, if you guys don't know, Sam Kendricks is an All-American, Olympian pole vaulter.
If you ask Sam or if you ask Michael or Stephen, they'll also say he's the world's best loser. Which is a crazy thing to think about in pole vaulting.
Yeah.
Because it's like baseball. Like one day you're hot, one day you're not. But Sam comes in second all the time. Like an unbelievable amount of the time. And he's probably the most consistent pole vaulter ever.
Wow.
Like on the national scale.
Hey, shout out to our boy, man.
Yeah, shout out to
He's a great guy. He's a very humble guy.
You checked out Refuge?
Yeah.
He was telling us
Dude.
about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh.
He's
Oh
building
my
that
gosh.
thing. So he's gonna, that man gonna have his own league in Oxford within track and field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Going back to like how I want to live in Oxford, the way Sam has it set up, that's how
Right.
I would want it.
Talk about a jack of all trades too. The man's
Yeah.
an Olympian, but he can also do like grading and like
Yeah,
groundwork.
man. Dude is a beast, man. Shout out Sam.
hey, a country boy will survive indeed.
Exactly. That's right.
But yeah, man. Hey, I love Oxford. I'm hoping to see it grow. And speaking of Oxford, yours truly, DK Metcalf over here. He's
Shout
a
out,
year
DK.
older than me. We all went to Oxford High, and DK, I just want to say, bro, next time you're in Oxford, would love if you could sign this poster right here. This is just sick. It's
Yeah.
sick. But yeah, I just wanted to put that in the clip. But nah, man. Is there anything that you're curious about us or you'd like to ask us?
Yeah, I mean, so
It could be anything, bro.
yeah, no. So
Like
I'll
if I
say
brush
this,
my teeth
like
at night, or
Vault is really interesting because it does cover a wide breadth of things,
Mm-hmm.
and Mike is kind of like y'all. He's the serial entrepreneur, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like where do y'all get the ideas for stuff? So Quantity Media, y'all are doing great work. Quantity Media, you're creating social media content, you're building stuff for clients,
Yeah.
and then you turn around and found Advanced Equity Group, which is real estate wholesaling. Like draw the line for me.
yeah. So before I even met Taylor, I was wholesaling real estate. And me and my cousin Colin Lee is the person who put me on, and paved the way for me. And that's the initial operation I got into. Had my own operation and everything. Later on, once the high interest rates and fucking stock market going down, housing market going down because of high interest rates, everything like that, I took myself out of that situation and just pondered on what was next.
Yeah.
You know? And that's how me and Taylor met.
Yeah, I will say that so real estate for us wasn't something that just kind of came out of nowhere. We do have a lot of things that come out of nowhere,
Yeah.
but real estate was always the ultimate goal for us getting into Quantity Media.
Okay.
Because it was supposed to fund real estate for us.
Gotcha.
So that's kind of how we got into it. But so going back to how me and Alex met, so him and his cousin Colin, they put on an event here in Oxford. I think it was what hotel was that?
It was at the La Quinta Hotel.
The La Quinta Hotel here in
Okay.
Oxford. And they had this little room. They had like 10, 15 people in there. And me and my roommate went to that event. And his cousin was talking about real estate. And he was talking about marketing and media. And so me and Alex just got to talking about like, what I do with YouTube and media and cameras and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And like a week or two after that, Alex hits me up and he's like, yo, I've got this crazy idea for this media company. And I'm like, okay, bet. Let's meet up.
Yeah. No, I mean, because I saw the play button,
Yeah.
which that's killer.
Thank you. I appreciate
100,000 subscribers. Shout out to Taylor Junkin, baby.
that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The Omegle God.
Yeah, do you know about that?
I think I've even seen the clips.
Okay,
You know,
yeah.
I'm a TikTok fiend.
You know,
All
you know,
that
you know how
TikTok.
like you get on Omegle,
Yeah.
and then whenever you go to the next person, they have their penis out. That was him.
Oh yeah, I knew I've seen it somewhere.
That was me. Yeah.
Everybody always recognizes him.
It's so funny because it's so true. Not the penis part. It's so funny because people will recognize me and they'll be like, "You look so familiar," and I'm like,
Please don't say it.
"What? How do you know me?"
Now you know.
You know how you know me. But it's always like I have to show them the video and they're like, "Oh, you're that guy."
So whenever you're doing Omegle, bro, how long were you doing your sessions for? Because you're doing late at night, right?
Yeah.
That's what happens when you live in Mississippi and you got shit to do.
Literally, that's literally how it happened. But no, I mean, so our sessions, I mean, for specifically the demon pranks, which is what was breakout for us, probably 2-3 hours of filming and then chopped up into like a 10-minute video. You
See,
know?
I would have figured that was way longer. I would have figured that's like a
Yeah.
6-hour like run
It's
to get good reactions.
Surprisingly not as hard to get good reactions whenever you have something that's so good like that.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
if you can pull it off right, which me and my partner at the time, whenever we were doing the videos, were doing, I mean, we were hitting it on point every single time. And it was just like people were freaking out, man.
Yeah.
You know, so
So 2 hours of filming.
yeah, 2 to 3.
So 2 hours. So how many dicks you see in 2 hours?
Oh God. So
Like oh God, what movie or show was it I was watching? What's the TTP? The time to penis.
What What the fuck?
So have you never seen that?
Nah.
No, I think it's like it might actually be a real thing in like the video game programming world. They have to worry about like how long until users are gonna like make a penis out of something.
Yeah.
Guys.
I mean, like, you know, yeah.
Yeah.
Omego's gotten a lot better in the regular sections about not having that stuff and getting rid of it. But
that's what made it.
but there is still now the restricted section, unrestricted section, whatever you call it, and that's where they all are now. So you can stay away from it.
For them.
If you're looking to find them, you can find them. Trust me.
If you're looking to find the penis,
yeah,
you know where to go. But nah, man. Yeah. So I mean, that's how we got into that's how Advanced Equity Group got about. We're just bringing it back because that's something that he desired to get into. Yeah. And a year later after Quantity Media, we hopped into real estate.
Yeah.
You know, right now we got a lot of things juggling, but we got some acquisitions in the pipeline.
Killer.
You know what I mean?
That's great.
And we're just working on a little things here and there.
Yeah.
You know, life it's very chaotic, and wherever God pushes us, that's what we're doing, and we're all figuring out at the end of the day.
Well, and it's all about those little things here and there. Like I can tell you, and I think this is a good way to flow into it because I do have a question for y'all after I get through this little ramble of mine. Like it's all about little things. And I was telling you about it with the integration side of things, right?
Yeah.
So integration's a really big thing in the pro AV world, and we weren't really touching it. We started kind of unlocking some of the things about the world, you know, getting these dealerships with different manufacturers and, you know, getting access to manufacturer pricing. So we're able to be competitive in those space where people are wanting to install, you know, conference room PA speakers. They want to build a Zoom room. They want to do any and all, or, you know, they want to upgrade their church in a box setup, right?
Yeah.
It was like, I came from IT networking. I wanted to do some installs. So I was kind of just always putting my feelers out there. And it was like, oh, well, we'll do a little install here at Sigma Chi. And then we'll do a little install here at, you know, X location, X bar. And then about 3 weeks ago, it's like, okay, we've got 1 or 2 installs. Man, that feels good. I really hope we keep expanding that. And then in like the span of like 5 days, we got 8 phone calls about integrations.
Wow. So
now I'm like just full like eyeballs, just, you know, cartoon rolling around in my head. I'm like, what do I even do with this? And I think that's where I want to transition is by saying we literally like for the past like week and a half, we're like, dude, I can't keep up with this. Like with the purchase orders, like my boss looks at me with one install that we've got going. He's like, oh, all of those lights are on back order. I was like, what do you mean? Like, you're telling me this 5 days later? I'm like, he's like, no, I told you in the office. I was like, oh, I probably did forget. I probably forgot you told me that. So we have to integrate then tools into our workflow. Yeah. So I want to start by asking y'all a question. Are y'all using any like software tools, anything like that to grow Advanced Equity Group or Quantity Media?
Yeah. How we're storing our data is we have our CRM. Shout out to Jordan Santiago. It's one of the top wholesaler producers in New York. And he has a developer that programs the CRM.
What's a CRM?
It's on Podio. So basically,
no. What's a CRM?
A CRM is a customer relationship management.
See, I did that to you now.
What?
asking you about.
Oh yeah. Nah, I just not good with words. Bro, tell him about what you said to me yesterday.
What?
Whenever I was typing up.
Oh, so this guy, Alex was sitting here for like 30 minutes typing up notes for our first ever podcast, okay? And then I look at the screen after 30 minutes and he has like 4 things on the list. And what was it? It was like... I forgot what it said, but it was something very basic.
Taylor talk about what he got going on.
Yeah.
Alex talk about what he got going on. We both talk about what we got going on.
Like, number 1, talk about what we got going on. Number 2, talk about what Taylor got going on. Number 3, talk about what Alex got going on.
I laughed because yesterday you're like, every time you think Alex be over there typing up a storm, and you think he's working on like a mastermind thing. You turn around and it's shit like that.
It's just like the most basic thing I've ever seen. I was on the floor laughing about this yesterday, bro.
But no, bro. Going back to your questions, we're not like tech savvy like you, the master integrator. You know what I mean? We ain't got all those tech savvy things, but what we do have is a CRM that stores our data.
Yeah.
We have some marketing platforms that does our SMS and our dialer to like cold call people. But that's basically all of our systems we got for a wholesaling operation.
But I mean that sounds like exactly what I'm getting at is like these industry specific things, like whatever industry you might be in. For me, it's production. Like there's tools out there if you just look for a little bit. If you start looking hard enough and you start asking some of the other players in your industry, because at the end of the day, most everybody's out there to show love. You got some players who are doing their own thing.
Bro, it's all love at the end.
Yeah,
it's bread for everybody.
Yeah, and you just start making these phone calls, and I realize, okay, so one of these guys that I work with is using Current RMS. What is this about?
Right.
And then I look into Current, and I'm like, man, this could work for us. And Current ended up being the catalyst to probably the biggest growth period in the history of vault entertainment. Like I said, I was telling y'all earlier, after the integration of Current, we saw a 50% increase in sales, just by way of knowing what we can do, knowing how thin we can stretch ourselves without getting into danger, essentially, and just running with it. And then we keep. Once that happened, then we could buy some more gear.
Right.
And once you buy more gear, then you can do more shows, and then you can do more shows. And it keeps snowballing into the point where, you're like us right now. We've just finished our first round of capital growth or capital fundraising. And, we literally, in the span of about 3 weeks, doubled our inventory.
So that's what I was going to ask you. I was going to share, I was going to ask you on the side, hey, bro, can I ask you about the raising capital?
Yeah.
So how is that like, is this from like private investors, like family and friends, or is this like you've...
So you can ask all over the place. One of the main things we went to was just a bank that we had a great relationship with for a long time. And
can you say what bank that is?
Yeah, I'll shout them out. Renaissance Bank.
Renaissance.
They did a great job.
What does the interest rate look like for you guys?
Oh man, I have no idea. I don't touch this level finances.
Okay, gotcha.
But I kind of help make the planning.
Right. Okay.
Myself, Isaac, and Michael are kind of the three managerial heads of the company.
So they raise capital and they plan on using that capital to buy some more gear, and then y'all leverage those gears by renting it out.
Yeah. So I mean, they seen Vault Entertainment's been in business 2009. It was when it kind of started. They were doing the mobile DJ thing. Shout out Stephen Greer, DJ Apex. That was his going name. And Steve, they started growing it, and then they started doing some fraternity parties because they were brothers at Sigma Chi at Ole Miss. Then just kept growing, and Mike stuck with it for a while. Steve's a dentist now, but he still shows up to a show every now and then, and trolls one of our video guys.
I'm laughing because everybody just sounds like they got so much money, bro. They got you talked about a farm, and then they're leasing it out. Like, bro, everything that they're doing it right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Dude, I mean,
how old are they? How old are these three guys that...
The owner of the company, Michael, 30 years old. 31 years old. Just turned 31. Just turned 31 years old. Stephen, his twin brother, 31 years old.
Twin brother too.
Twin brother. Look functionally identical.
Oh, wow.
They look completely identical. To the point where nobody really knew Steven existed, because Steven's been, backed away from the company for some time now. I knew he existed. I've heard about Steve. I've heard him on the phone. I'd never met him until May. I've been in the company 2 years. And then he was there for a weekend, a double-decker weekend, actually. And we had a massive show going on. We had Abstract, international DJ, EDM guy.
Right.
And I see who I thought was Michael kind of come around the corner. And I look, I'm like, that's Steve, because I had met him earlier that day. And I could tell the differences, but they look almost the same. And Patrick Spires, man, like, talk about an incredible worker, somebody that just went from like zero knowledge to being one of the most valuable players in our team.
That's what you
just
want.
Incredible. Could not be more proud of him.
Did you guys put up, do you guys work with the city of Oxford to put on those shows for Double Decker and stuff?
So we don't work with Double Decker yet. Hoping to get out in front of somebody on that one.
Dope.
Hoping to get out in front of
Go
somebody
ahead,
on that
tell
one.
them. I mean,
Hey, visit Oxford. Answer my emails, bro. I want to work with y'all.
What are your emails like to them? Are you like?
They're very cordial.
Okay.
They're very cordial. I'm a schmoozer on the emails. But we did eat in the streets. So when we were coming back from COVID, if y'all remember that big stage, and they had Drew Holcomb and the Neighbors right over there by where Funky's is.
Okay.
We actually did that event, and we've done some other City of Oxford stuff. We've done stuff with the Chamber of Commerce. Got a great relationship with them. Can't speak highly enough of the Oxford Chamber of Commerce. Yeah. But yeah, so he grabs Pat. Patrick's running our video wall. You're using APC 40, and you're just running, doing different visuals, triggering different effects. And my fault. He looks at Pat and goes, "Pat, what are you doing?" He's like, and Pat is so meek mannered. He's just so mild. He's such a good guy. And he goes, "Man, I don't know." And he goes, "This looks like shit. This looks terrible. As a matter of fact, come with me. We need to have a conversation." And he starts like marching him out, and you just see like all the color drain out of Pat's face. Yeah. And he's like head hung down, just like terrified. And about that time, Mike comes swinging around the corner, and Pat looks up, sees Mike, goes, "Oh," sees Steve in front of him, goes, "Oh," and like he looks back, you see the brain like start like short circuiting. He's like, "Oh, screw you guys!" And then just like went back to the LED wall.
I'm dead. But then, it sounds like you guys have a great time together.
Oh my gosh, just an incredible time. Much to my chagrin sometimes, because we'll get in the office and it's 7:00 and we're talking about how we're going to grow things and who we want to grow with. And then you look up and you've had 8 beers and it's 3:00 in the morning and you've got to be back in the office at 9:00 in the morning. And
what is y'all's work hours like?
So we're working on that. Working on that. For a while there, it was, lots of hours, 7 days a week. Right. Now we're doing a really good job, 9 to 5, getting off early, unless it's a show, of course, then your show might end at 12. You might be done at 3. Yeah. But it's all over the place. It really is.
Bro, y'all be putting in that work for real. Because like working on the weekends, on top of that, if it's nighttime, you guys are setting up a show, you guys got to take it down as well. Yeah. So you guys probably not done until 3, 4 in the morning.
Yeah, I mean, we've cut down on that time to get more efficient, right? I think the latest I've left a job site in the past semester was like 2:30, which is a huge improvement.
So, bro, like setting up the stage is now about like 2 to 3 hours. Now I want to ask you, what is like an average price tag on like setting up a stage like that? Like, let's just say those frat parties. How much are you charging them?
So it really depends. Like I said, everything's custom, right? So if you're looking to do a show with us, if you got $3,000 in the bag, we're going to put something together that's going to be really efficient, but really impactful for those $3,000.
How many people can $3,000 hold?
Could do a 200-300 person event. Okay. Because it's going to be point source, and our point source speakers just absolutely rip. They may not sound the greatest in our inventory, but they're going to rip, and we can make a good mix come out of them.
Bro, Quantity Media and Vault Entertainment should do, once we start booming, bro, we start booming, and if we're able, we should come together and do an event, and then, hey, make it like a tradition or something like that.
Oh, dude, I'll build you a quote in like 5 minutes. I got you.
Hey, for real. We'll figure something out.
No, I would love to. I mean, that'd be killer.
Yeah. And then, hey, I'm telling you, Oxford going to be booming, bro.
Oxford's seeing a renaissance. Really. I mean, like you've got, it's all young business owners, right? So you've got all the guys that own these restaurants in the square. I don't know if you realize this, but all the restaurants and bars are owned by about 3 people.
Yeah.
But they're young. They're all of them young.
Yeah.
What are some restaurants that are like, young and thriving?
Young and thriving? I mean, doing it right, Opa.
Hudson, I knew you were going to say that. Yeah.
Dude, that's where it's at.
Yeah.
Hudson Spot's doing great. Back 9, Oxford, doing some really, really cool stuff.
Yeah, I haven't been there yet. That's a bar, right?
It's actually a golf simulator restaurant.
Oh, it's that
So they've
place.
got 4 simulator bays, and then they've got like somebody just whipping it up in the back. Like the food is crazy.
Bro, having a restaurant is not easy.
No.
Bro, it's like even, let's just say you talking about cilantro or green onion. Bro, you got to buy a whole box of that a week. Let's just say it costs like $80 or $50 for that cilantro or that green onion. You times that by 4. The cilantro itself, let's just say minimum is $200. Right. That's not talking about the meat. That's not talking about the labor. That's not talking about hiring people. Like, and the reason I'm saying this is because I'm helping this Vietnamese restaurant, the only Vietnamese restaurant in Oxford. It used to be called Me and Tea, and I'm helping them rebrand, restructure, renovate inside. Going to be helping them with their social media, everything. You know what I mean? Get them a Kickstarter. Yeah. And because the guy, he's from Florida. He's coming from Florida, and he doesn't have any family here. So, you know, I've been following up with him for about a year now. Yeah. And he's figuring things out. It's a lot of headaches. Yeah. It's a lot. So we're gonna revamp this thing.
Yeah. You got to be ready to learn, right? Yeah. You got to be ready to learn. Definitely. You got to be ready to listen.
I bet Patrick could tell us all about that too, the restaurant industry, because shout out Patrick from Finch and Kelly. He owned a restaurant before he owned Finch and Kelly. Yeah.
I didn't know that. Yeah. I actually met Patrick at a Davidoff event.
Oh, really?
For Spring Street Cigars. Man, just...
Oh, you met Patrick?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was at the Davidoff dinner.
Where was that? That was in Oxford?
Yeah, it was actually in one of our members' backyards.
Oh, okay.
So they put up some tents from like Magnolia Rental or something.
That's awesome.
And then Davidoff, who is the finest maker of cigars in the world.
Yeah.
Shout out Davidoff if they're listening. They're absolutely not. El Niñero is definitely not listening to this. But what you're smoking on, that is actually a Davidoff brand.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's not a Davidoff, it's AVO, but it's one of their brands.
Yeah.
And I think Hinky might have came up with this blend.
You must smoke cigars, bro.
A little bit.
A little bit?
If you went to my desk, I look like the degenerate of the office.
You are, bro.
Probably.
It's definitely Max. It's definitely Max.
It could be. Like, my desk is like my pocket of pills because I've just got like health problems. Like, I've got a clinically small esophagus, which I didn't even know was a thing. So I've always got heartburn if I don't take like 40 milligrams of like Pepcid and Protonics every day.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Of course, other medications, allergies, things like that.
Yeah.
And then if you look directly to the right of it, it's a decanter full of bourbon. And then if you look directly underneath that, it's I've got a humidor refrigerator. It's like a refrigerator or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
I've got like 350 cigars
sitting
in there underneath my desk.
300
plus.
That's amazing.
300 plus.
So you said you're a member of Spring Street, right?
Yeah, member of Spring Street.
What does it entail to be a member?
It entails paying the money and then
how much?
Buying enough cigars to where I feel like I've paid it off.
Oh wow.
It's $500 a year.
$500 a year?
Yeah.
You just get invited to special events or something?
Yeah. So that Davidoff event was a members only event, or members and their guests.
Bro, we want Finch and Kelly and Spring Street Cigar to do a collab.
I think that would be amazing.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Like having, suits and then cigars.
Yeah. No, I mean, it'd be killer, but...
bro, do you guys know any, blues and jazz artists with, crazy with the saxophone?
I run concerts for a living. Of course I do. We're in Mississippi. Yeah, no, so one of our biggest events and longest standing events has been the Red, White, and Blues Festival out in Clinton, Mississippi. Incredible festival. Happens on the 4th of July every year. And this year it got rained out again. But they had Keith Johnson. Keith Johnson and the Muddy Waters Band, or Muddy River Band, or whatever it's called. He's like Muddy Waters' great nephew or something, which is insane. Muddy Waters is a blues legend. Keith Johnson and the Muddy River Band. There it is. Wow, it took me a minute. I'm sorry.
That boy did Jimmy Neutron brain blast.
I had to brain blast for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
I told y'all he was Jimmy Neutron. I told y'all.
Yeah. So, just incredible blues band.
Right.
Just the tightest act. We've done work with Big Game, the All Stars out of Clarksdale.
And bro, the reason hey, listen, we're competitors. Yeah. That's cool, but hey, I would love to work with you guys. Dude. Like we could set up an event together. But also, there's a bar. I forgot the name. It's on the square next to what is it? There's Funky's right here, Tango's right here. What's the
Rafters or Annex?
Annex.
Yeah.
Annex has this underground type deal.
Yeah, the Cellar. Or no. That's actually in Tango's.
Okay.
Cellars and Tango's.
Regardless, the vibe that I'm trying to do, I'm trying to have a blues and jazz with suits and cigars, whiskey.
Yeah. So the only thing is, the city of Oxford will shut you down.
Of course.
On the cigar front. So if you're smoking, that's why Spring Street actually in Oxford cannot have any liquor or beer sales. Because the city of Oxford won't allow
You can bring it in though, right? You have to pay a fee.
You can bring it in. You can have a corporate fee, but they cannot sell it because they're smoking in there. And in order to serve liquor or alcohol of any kind in Oxford, you have to be a restaurant. but you can't be a restaurant if you have smoking inside.
Oh,
So-
interesting.
Why?
Lafayette County is a dry county, right? So for Oxford to even be able to like sell liquor, they had to have referendums to relinquish themselves from the county essentially on the laws.
Yeah.
So if you go like where I live, if you cross the county out of the city lines, can't buy beer anymore.
Oh, wow.
And then if you cross back in, the gas station is right on the county line because that's where they want to be.
Right.
You buy beer at that first gas station.
Yeah. Wow.
So, bro, first off, Oxford's really strict. There's a lot to it within Oxford. I think there's tremendous opportunity here right now. And I think soon they'll open up to it. We even have marijuana here, like medical marijuana.
Yeah.
Soon it'll be legalized. Oxford's going to be soon to grow the city. You know what I mean? What are some things that you guys would love to see here in Oxford?
I would love to see a private music festival. Not like Double Decker's incredible, but I'd love to see some private individuals put on a music festival because you had Mississippi years ago. We serviced that event, but it only went off one time.
Why? Why not more?
I think it was a combination of COVID, coming right up on it.
Okay,
and,
gotcha.
The reception to it was probably middling.
Right.
I wasn't involved with it. It was before my time, but yeah, I know it only happened once. I would love to see something really grow here because Oxford's such a music town.
Yeah.
You got Proud Larry's, which is an institution. The people that have walked across
You guys
that
do
stage.
some stuff with Proud Larry? Or?
So there are
Y'all
maybe
tried?
some things in the works there.
Okay.
I can't speak to it too much.
Yeah.
But we have a lot of love for Scott Carradine and the work that he's doing over there. And I mean, it's an institution. If you're involved in the music scene in Oxford, you know about Proud Larry's and you know people that work there. And you're involved.
Isn't he associated with the Lyric?
He's not, to the best of my knowledge. He might be.
Okay.
A lot of people are associated with the Lyric.
Do you guys do anything with the Lyric? Or?
On occasion, we'll send some hands. For Young Gravy, we provided side fills. That's kind of our claim to fame. Is we got Young Gravy. But no, that's probably not our claim to fame, actually. Anyway, we do a little bit of help there when they just need some extra hands. But generally, we're doing our own events, private events, city events, wherever. The Lyric's got an incredible team there that can pretty much handle themselves.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
For me, as far as Oxford, the only thing I'd like to see is wider roads. Something that'll
we're limited on that.
I'd like to see some driver education on how to use the roundabouts. When I was driving here today, there's a roundabout right at the 7-9 split. You've been there. You go right out of the roundabout, just so you know, everybody. You go right out of the roundabout.
It'd be the motherfuckers from Pontotoc.
Yeah. That was a Pontotoc license.
See?
Because I'm coming around the bend, and here comes that Chevy Malibu.
See? It's always Chevy Malibu.
Hey, friend, that's not the way you're supposed to be going.
Yeah.
And I'm out the window. I'm like, you can't go this. You have to go back. Put it in reverse, Terry.
Some of those people.
And she was just so confused. Bless her heart. I'm like, you can't do that.
They said, "Fuck you, Landon."
Some of those people, they'll get, especially the people whenever games happen and they're not from here, they come here, they get into the roundabout, and then they start yielding to the people outside of the roundabout.
Oh, you get that too.
They just stop in the middle of the roundabout, and it stops traffic from flowing.
Oh, I have to go through 3 or 4 roundabouts to get to work, and just please don't stop in the roundabout. Come on, don't
Public
stop in the
service
roundabout.
announcement: don't stop in the roundabouts.
Man, I see so much going on in Oxford, and one thing that I would love to see Oxford have is lessen up on these restrictions. For example, there's some places these condos where in Oxford you can only build to a certain height. Whenever you go to these big cities like Seattle and whatnot, they build all the way up. And Oxford, they won't let you do that.
I think I'd have to disagree with you there.
Oh, yeah?
So I spent time as an ambassador at the University of Mississippi. I was a tour guide. I was also one of the co-directors of training because I'm a nerd and I learn stuff quick. The university controls so much about how this town grows, and I appreciate that because I love Ole Miss. And the university wants one thing, and it's kind of their mantra on the tours, right? Is I changed the colors. Is it's all the amenities of a large town with the feel of a small town, right? When you start building that skyscraper, it don't feel like a small town anymore.
It's just, the thing is, bro, it's just like, let's just say a stock.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Apple. The more that gets in, the higher it gets pumped.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like,
I think that's where we can let Lafayette County grow. Like let Oxford
I agree with
steep in
that.
its history.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let Oxford be Oxford. You know, you've got the history of that courthouse. You've got the history of William Faulkner and what he did here. You've got Roanoke. You've got so much history that is just steeped in Oxford.
Well,
like,
I wonder what the ultimatum of that rule is, though. Like, why? What's the reason that you can't build to a certain height?
yeah, like for example, like you said, you wish the roads were wider, right? And the things that I see is just like, it feels like, I don't know if y'all ever watched that movie, like the Homer Simpson movie, where like they're in that big bubble. It's like,
Uh-oh. Did the ninja die?
I think it was the ninja. Yeah. We're still good.
Okay, cool. Oh, nice. So you're recording on both?
Recording to a card right now.
Ah, word.
what about these right here?
How long have we been talking? What time is it?
It's been about an hour and a half.
Oh, okay.
This one stopped at some point. As long as that one was good, we're good.
Yeah. Anyway. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah, bro. Just to go back with what I was saying, like, you know, Taylor, you said you wanted roads to be wider.
Yeah.
Right? I just feel like Oxford is just so like claustrophobic. Like you can see it during game day. It's like the more people that comes in, it's just like everybody's just stuck.
Yeah.
And then it's just like I see some roads in Oxford where it will be like a whole road right here, but then there'll be only one entry. And it's like limiting it, you know?
yeah. I mean, we saw that with Morgan Wallen, right? Morgan Wallen came into town. It was the biggest event in Oxford history.
Yeah.
And you could not move. And I had
Yeah.
a lot of work to do.
So that's what I was thinking about was that day, whenever you brought up like music festivals. So how, it may not be widening roads. How do we fix that? Or is it even possible to fix that?
You put it in the right place. There's some places in town that I've been to, and I'm like, you could put a killer music festival here,
Yeah.
and it wouldn't kill the town.
It'd probably be like more outskirts in the county.
There,
right?
there's an event space that's used a lot in Oxford, and I won't talk about this because I've not even proposed it to the owner. But there's an event space in Oxford where they've got some land back on the other side, and man, you could drop 3 massive mobile stages like for festivals,
Yeah.
and build something crazy.
Man, that's the answer then. I think
Hey,
that's the answer.
whoever has land in Oxford, bro, is just fucking just sitting on money,
Yeah,
sitting on
yeah.
cash.
Yeah.
But I mean, the reason I'm saying all that is just because, like, I mean, Ole Miss, right, and Oxford is doing so much, like the Morgan Wallen concert.
Yeah.
You know, it's like they're wanting the hype of Oxford to grow, but then the place, it's so limiting. So it's like it don't make sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they want it to grow, but then at the same time they want it to be small, and it's just like a bottle of glass. The more you stuff in there, soon it's just gonna pop.
Yeah, I think we're hitting our capacity. And I think the people
That's what I'm saying.
I think
right
the
there.
people around here are smart enough to realize that.
Yeah.
And I think
So what are
like,
the solutions? You know what I mean?
you just stop growing. You stop growing. I mean, because like that's the thing is like you want every city to grow, right? But every city doesn't want to grow.
Yeah.
Every school doesn't want to grow.
Yeah.
And Ole Miss is pretty happy with where it's at right now. It loves the title of mid-sized
Right.
university.
It's just because the reason I'm saying that is because I would like Oxford to grow like a city like Memphis, because Memphis, it has a lot of potential later on. I could even see Memphis being like the next Atlanta. But if we could be like Memphis where we're busy all year round, and the reason I'm saying this because I'm thinking for the businesses,
Yeah.
right? Like my family have 2 nail shops here, Nail E and Nailthology, like, and there's some, I would like to see, just more of it grow.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking for these small businesses where,
Well, so that's the thing is you can grow anywhere. You can absolutely grow anywhere. But let's talk about Vault Entertainment for a second. We're based in Oxford, Mississippi. All of our operations are based in Oxford, Mississippi. But we stretch from as far as Austin, Texas to Athens, Georgia. We're covering the entire Southeast, right? So if you want this place to grow it economically, grow it in, what is happening here. But it doesn't have to grow physically to do that. Because what we can do, as business owners, like especially with us, like we've got to have a 6,000 square foot warehouse just to handle what we do right now, and we're about to grow out of it.
Yeah.
So then you're going to start dropping equipment in strategic locations. You're going to start building these hubs. That's why businesses branch out and build extra things. It's not because, they just needed to go somewhere else.
Right.
All the time. That is the case some of the time. But a lot of the time it's strategic. It's a market that was already longing for their services, and maybe they didn't have any more space to grow. Bandit Lights, Knoxville, Tennessee is their headquarters. But all of everything that they do, all the incredible work they do, pretty much happens in the Nashville shop because it's Nashville. So that you can still keep your heart and home in somewhere small like Oxford, but you don't have to do all of your work out of Oxford.
And
and the money still comes back in.
I'll say two things. One, you know, I don't know the overall. I'm sure there's like an overall goal that Oxford is trying to push for. I'm sure there's like the chairman and board of advisors talking to each other on how do they want to establish Oxford, right? So I don't know that. I'm just speaking on certain things that I noticed because, you know, like I said, I'm from Grenada. I was raised in Oxford, graduated from here. So I've seen, like, before pre-COVID to now, it's like two different towns.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, man, is, and like, I don't shy away from politics ever. I don't, you know, throw around wild opinions about politics, but if you want to change something, change it.
Yeah.
You know? Be that change.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's why I love Vault. It's
Yeah.
it's a company that is growing and is training new people. That doesn't happen in the industry. Be that change.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of these places, you know, I think, for example, you're saying like setting up like hubs in like different cities and whatnot. I think that's possible for like Vault Entertainment, but like, I'm not gonna say it's impossible for like, let's just say for Oxford to like, because they have a storefront. They operate in Oxford. If they set up a hub, which it's never gonna be a hub, it's gonna be another storefront. And you know, it's so much more that goes into it. So basically, you're taking another gamble at another business, right? So, you know, for you guys, just like the media space, like you know, let's just say we're making content. We're gonna have to require a lot of our sweat equity within there, right? We don't necessarily have like an overhead, right? We don't have to pay for systems. There are some systems that you can implement, but for the most part, all it is you're the content, right? And you know, like Vault Entertainment, you guys, of course, you guys are building stages and whatnot, but let's just say video content wise, you guys are able to set up a hub and cater to a different market, but I'm just talking about a storefront side of aspect of things.
That's true. And I'm so my brain is so service industry minded. Like it's not like I'm not thinking, oh yeah, you do have to sell. You got to sell upon me. You know, like I never think about that.
Like for example,
you're absolutely right,
bro. Like you know, with inflation and everything's gone up, right? And you see these restaurants. It's like, damn, the average meal used to be about $10, not even $8.50. Now. Average meals are like $15 to $20, right? And we're like, we go into the restaurant, we're like, fuck, I'm never going to this restaurant ever again. You know what I mean? Because it's so expensive. But they sell banh mi for about, let's just say $8, bro. The guy's only making $2 on the banh mi. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like the baguette. It's like a baguette. And it's just like stuff. It's like, damn, they're really working little to none. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's why, and I'm just, you know, at the end of the day, I'm just kind of speaking from a different perspective. I always want to do devil's advocate, right?
Well, I mean, no, it's true. It's true. You have to.
Yeah, you got to.
You've got to. You know, I can't analyze every perspective in my niche, right? But I can't analyze every perspective in every niche. Yeah.
You know, hey, there's 7 to 8 billion people in this world, and everybody, you know, life is not easy. Getting to try to understand, but also try to work together. And this is something that me and Taylor were talking about, and we're gonna do some questions. We're gonna. Before we wrap it up, but me and Taylor last podcast, we were talking about, do you think human beings in this world are able to work together to move forward, or are we programmed to not work together?
No, we're absolutely programmed to work together, right?
Why?
So let's think about if you subscribe to the Bible. Of course I do. Man was created and he needed a companion, right? So let's think about that theologically. Man could not function on his own without woman, without a companion, without somebody to work together with.
Right.
Vault Entertainment cannot function on its own without our partners and without our friends. You know, we get calls from talent buyers. Talent buyers need production. production needs talent buyers to get shows. It's the end of the day. We've got friends in the industry like Max Victory down the road, Victory Event Group, does awesome work, awesome guy, and he needs something that we have. He has something that we need.
Yeah.
And if we don't leverage that, if we don't leverage the people we love and the people that we want to see grow, you're going to shrivel. You're going to atrophy. And you can't do it alone.
Okay.
You can't.
So the last episode, and you'll get to say your side of things. I said that human beings are programmed to work together because, even though we are very divided, especially in America, when shit hits the fan, we're like, okay, that person is wrong. Let's all get together and move forward on how we can be the change, like you're saying, right? And now you can back yours.
Yeah, well, so I just think that you're absolutely right in saying that people definitely should and they need to be, but I think that maybe we're not programmed, or maybe we have been programmed to not work together. Like most people, I feel like, are not doing what you're talking about. They're not out there putting people together and working together. They're just, I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah. I mean, I can understand that perspective, but I'm also going to, let's think about the largest food and beverage. You were talking about food and beverage earlier, right?
Yeah.
What are the two brands that come to your mind if you think food and beverage?
Coke and McDonald's.
Coke and McDonald's.
Yeah.
Man, I'm so glad that you said that. That was an awesome test. But Coke and McDonald's, right? Coca-Cola, the largest beverage supplier in the world. Actually, PepsiCo has got them beat, but that's because of all the other stuff they own. Coca-Cola, though. Coca-Cola Corporation has the Coca-Cola Corporation McDonald's department. Two kind of opposing factions in some ways, people that need to work together and others. Coca-Cola wouldn't have grown like it did if it weren't for the McDonald's department. And McDonald's probably wouldn't have grown like it did because of the Coca-Cola McDonald's department, they get a higher quality product at a cheaper price, and they grow their business.
Man, that McDonald's Coke and Sprite slap every time,
Do
bro.
you guys think it tastes different at McDonald's versus everywhere else?
Scientifically, it does.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
What is the reason for that?
Okay. I'm so glad somebody asked me about this. So Coca-Cola syrup from McDonald's is shipped in stainless steel containers. Everywhere else, it's shipped in a bag in a cardboard box.
Yeah.
All throughout the entire process, the Coca-Cola is chilled. So the syrup and the carbonated water is filtered and then carbonated at the end. And then everything is chilled. So all of the lines carrying the syrup to the machine is chilled. The machine itself, chilled. The amount of ice that they have is made so that it melts perfectly. And when it melts a little bit, then you get the exact flavor that you're supposed to do. Their straws are a little bit wider. So you get more of the carbonation without breaking up the bubbles. It is more aggressively fizzy because it's more of that carbonation that's being released into your mouth.
Holy shit.
There's
You're a fucking nerd, bro.
Yeah, I'm a massive nerd. But there's tons of science. You can watch YouTube about it. Weird History Food does a great episode about it. They explained it way better than I just did, and they explained it way more at length.
You did a great job. I think you did a great job.
I appreciate
it,
it.
man.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Without that partnership, that wouldn't be a thing, and
Right.
we wouldn't be talking about why McDonald's Sprite tastes so spicy.
But no, I definitely see where, you were saying though.
Well, so
kinda.
whenever we were talking about it, I think we were talking about more of like a race and ethnicity standpoint, because I think that people are biologically
Oh
divided
yeah,
in that way.
we were talking about America versus Vietnam.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, we're not really talking about businesses, I guess.
It's interesting.
Yeah. Hey, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Hey,
I think history could argue that maybe we are born divided, but I think anecdotally we also see that that's so far from the case. Like Oxford is such a crazy town, right? Because it's in the heart of Mississippi, which is steeped in racism and tragedy. But you look down the road, there's a mosque. You look down the road, there's Jewish activity centers. You look around the University of Mississippi campus, and there's I think 89 to 91 countries represented at any one time. It's unbelievable,
bro. Mississippi has a bad rep, right, because of its history. But honestly, I tell people all the time, if y'all come to Oxford, Mississippi, this place has the best Southern hospitality.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely. And they say humans are social creatures.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But the reason why we have that good Southern hospitality is because I think this place is way more slower than other places. But now that we have people from Texas, Dallas, and stuff coming in, and Cali, and these other places,
Lots of Texans.
Yeah, a lot. Like Oxford is becoming like a fast pace now.
Yeah, my coworker Isaac is from Houston. He's from the Woodlands.
Yeah.
And he's like jonesing for us to get back out there.
Damn. But is there anything else that you'd like to cover, bro?
Man, we talked about so much.
Yeah.
You know,
Because I have a question for you. The last question.
Let's hear it.
And Taylor, you can ask him later on anything else you desire. But you know, we're in the year 2023. We have about 4 more months until 2024, right? You're only 22. What are your goals? What is your purpose? Why do you do what you do? And what is your goals as life progresses?
The only goal I have in life is to be happy, right? There's been a lot of tragedy in my family, and you know, people weren't happy, and people have gotten hurt, and people have died because, you know, they weren't happy. And if I don't have $1 to my name and I'm happy, I'm good. That's my only goal. You know, maybe it is easier to be happy when you've got money. Maybe it's not. Who knows? I certainly don't know the answer. But if I'm happy, I'm good.
That's great. That's great.
That's awesome.
We're the answer is always gonna be both.
Yeah.
You know, so we're gonna strive to get both.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
But you can't lose yourself in the grind.
For sure, and that's why, man, I'm gonna continue saying it every podcast. I'm not only trying to be the best businessman. I'm trying to be the best boyfriend, son, grandson, brother, cousin, friend, right? Cook, you know that.
Do you think the main point of life is happiness?
I think the main point of life is happiness. That's a tough question.
Because it's subjective for everybody.
I think the main goal is happiness. But I don't think the main point is happiness, because I think the main point of life is leaving this place better than we left it.
Yeah.
And I that's so cheesy. It's so cheesy, but
But it's true.
When you think about it and you boil it down from the cliche, you think about, you know, if I can change the industry I work in and make it a better place for the next guy that comes up, I've done something good.
Making
for my
an
life.
impact and making a legacy.
Yeah.
That's why, bro, whenever I meet people and, you know, I see people that are in need, I try to pour into those people. You know what I mean? Because, I mean, all it is, bro, is just like I see people all the time. I connect with people all the time. It's just like smiling, saying, hey, hey, how's it going? You know what I mean? Like just being that light to their life.
Yeah.
And so that's my way of giving back to the world.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But guys, that's almost like a 2-hour podcast, I believe.
Yeah.
Landon?
Dude, I appreciate y'all.
We appreciate you, bro.
so much.
And
man.
look, I'm going to bring in some cigars for y'all next time.
Okay.
I'm going to come back by sometime later this week because I got some fun ones for y'all to try.
Okay.
But,
and me and you, I'm going to take you out to eat at Me and T.
Dude,
you know what I mean?
yes, bro.
It's a Me and T 2.0. It's
that little strip center is like the nexus point for some Asian food in Oxford.
yeah,
right?
bro. They got a nail shop there. They got Rice and Spice. They got Me and T, which is now called Pho Oxford, right?
When are they supposed to finish up? Tonight?
Yeah, so they're doing the ceiling panels. They're going to be cutting it out. I should have stole some of these ceiling panels, brought it to them. We're leaving.
Yeah.
But guys, we're going later on. Once we're going to be staying in this office for about another month and a half.
Yeah.
And then we'll let life sail us into our next direction. But just know while we're here, man, fuck.
We're going crazy.
We're going to go crazy, but also, bro, it's going to be a bitch to move this shit out, bro.
Oh, tell me about it. We have like 5 TVs mounted on the wall here.
But, bro, I look forward to letting God bring us together, right? And we're here for a reason.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I look forward to coming back. I'm going to come back on this thing sometime.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we'll go eat. We'll go smoke some cigars.
Yeah.
I don't know if you hunt, but if your guys that you work with, they hunt, I would love to hunt for the first time.
Here, I'll tell you, we don't hunt.
Okay.
But we do skeet shooting.
Okay.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. It's kind of like a company
Like, you
thing.
talking about like
Yeah, so they've got...
It's these little things that shoot.
So it's called a clay pigeon.
Okay.
It's the little orange disc. and you take this like it looks like like the dog tennis ball launcher.
Right.
Yeah.
You can throw it out, or you can get a mechanical like piece of machinery to do it. And then you take a shotgun, track it across the sky, boom.
Do your guys, so who are the three guys again? The top guys?
So Michael Greer, the owner and president of Vault Entertainment.
Okay.
He doesn't like when I say president, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Myself.
Okay.
Vice president of business and innovation, and then Isaac Harrelson, vice president of brand development and operations.
Do you guys, and the reason I asked that, because y'all are top dogs, the reason I asked is, y'all like to gamble?
No. I don't touch it, bro.
Yeah.
I don't touch it, bro.
I don't either.
We're so. I don't want to say we're so risk averse, but we definitely are very, very calculated, and
Right.
I don't think gambling has ever come up ever.
Yeah.
The reason I asked, I was gonna be like, all right, I'm gonna put $50 on the table. Whoever skeet shoot the most, is that what it's called? Whoever skeet shoot the most.
No, I mean, yeah. Whoever hits the most clays,
Yeah.
I'll do a little 50.
Okay.
I'll do a little 50. That's fine.
That's
also because I know I'm gonna wax you.
Y'all gotta give me practice first. Y'all gotta give me some pointers, and then we'll make that agreement.
Yeah.
But bro, all right. Hey, that wraps up the second episode.
Yes,
our
sir.
first guest for Quantity Media Podcast. And is there anybody else you want to shout out or anything before we head up?
Follow Quantum Media on Instagram. Follow Vault Entertainment on
Vault.
Instagram.
Follow
I
Landon.
promise you, it's VAULT and not VAUGHT.
Not
Everybody
Vault
confuses that in Oxford. They think it's Vault Entertainment. And
I
it's
thought that too.
Oh,
all the time.
wow.
Dude, the amount of checks. Our bank is just we'll take Vault Entertainment.
Bro, that'd be lit. But millions. But guys, that wraps up for this episode. Until next episode. Peace.
Thanks, guys.